Yeah, of course, it's hard situation in whole world, and it was not simple to wait so long. But I was training all the time. I was in the shape all the time, and I'm happy to be back in the game. I fought 5 weeks ago in Denmark, and now I'm fighting again. So it's good, all good. I'm happy.
Right. Thanks, Philip.
Ryan Elliott next, please.
Hi, Philip. Thank you for joining us today. Just one question from myself. Your opponent got in this weekend, very durable guy, went 10 rounds with Kubrat Pulev. What do you want to get out of this weekend? Is it about getting the rounds against a durable opponent? You're looking to make a statement and maybe get the stoppage? What is it you want out of this fight?
Yeah, he showed very good boxing against Kubrat Pulev, and I want to make statement. I want to stop him in before 10 rounds, and yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to stop him before.
Thank you, Philip. Best of luck.
Thank you, man.
Rick Mohammed next, please. Okay, if Rick isn't going to answer, Devinder next, please. Devinder Pal.
Thank you, Anthony. Hi, Philip. Just a quick question from me. Obviously, you'll be fighting this Saturday night. We've got Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois fighting in a few weeks' time as well. Do you fancy the winner out of that? Are you planning next after this fight? What would be the ideal solution for you?
Can you repeat who I think is gonna win or what?
Yep. So Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce are fighting on November the 28th. So first of all, who do you think is going to win that, and would you fancy the winner out of those two?
Okay. I think, it's a great fight to happen for boxing fans, and head down to Dubois and Joyce, both of them, to accepting that fight. It's hard for both, and I think Joe Joyce experience, it's very important. He go through a lot in amateurs. He win a lot of medals, and it's my opinion that he has a better chance to win in that fight because of his experience. And of course, I would like to fight the winner of that fight. That will be great for me, but it's on this beautiful mister who you see in the screen, Nisse. It's on him to make a deal, for me. And but I would like to fight the winner. That's for sure.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Ames here for Boxing News TV. Hi, Philip. Philip, I just wanted to ask you, it seems to be general consensus that once Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua kind of move out the heavyweight division and I suppose retire, you're kind of next in line to kind of dominate. What do you think of that, and who do you think would be your main competitor to that heavyweight crown?
Well, it's hard to predict what situation gonna be in a few years or in I don't know, even in a few months. That's heavyweight boxing. We saw a lot of surprises, a lot of this kind of things, and it's hard to predict. And I'm glad to hear that from you, that it's your opinion that I'm gonna be next heavyweight king. Thank you for that, and I think that as well. So we'll see. I think I have tools to beat everyone out there. We'll see how situation will go.
Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.
Hi, Philip. Jonathan here from Pro Boxing Fans. Hope you're well. You've sparred Kubrat Pulev in the past. You've sparred Daniel Dubois. You've sparred some of the top heavyweights in the world currently. What did you take from sparring each of those briefly? And having sparred Kubrat Pulev in particular, how big a chance do you give him against Anthony Joshua?
I sparred a lot of great champions. You're right. I sparred Wladimir Klitschko. I sparred Deontay Wilder, David Haye, and all of these guys. And that gave me a lot of confidence. Sparring is sparring. Fight is a fight. It's totally different. But fighter feel when he is inside in the ring, he feel, how much he can do with. And that gave me a lot of confidence, these sparrings with all these guys. And a lot of them I spar as amateur. I was maybe 19, 20 years old. And now I'm much better prepared and much more mature. So that gave me a lot of confidence. And about Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua, I think Kubrat prime time is behind him, and Anthony Joshua is in the much better years, much younger, much fresher, and I think it's he is now temporarily too fast for Pulev, and it will be hard for Pulev to match his quickness.
Thanks, Philip. That's a lot.
Reggie Woodson next, please.
Thanks for your time today, Filip. So it looks like the championship picture is tied up, could be tied up through the end of 2021. We just saw a major setback with Dillian Whyte. How would you like to move with everything that's at stake? And as the other person just mentioned, you are favored as one of the guys to rise to the top of the division.
Yeah, thank you, man, for your opinion. And like I said, I also think that I have all the tools to come on the top. And what will be my way? I don't know. Who will I fight next? Now I need Rydell Booker. And from start of my professional career, I tell to my promoters, don't ask me, do I want to fight anyone? I want to fight all the great names. I feel ready for everyone. Like I said before, I spar a lot of great champions, and I know I'm 100% confident that I can do well with all of the top names. So I think I can do a lot in the heavyweight division, but how my road will be, I cannot tell you immediately. But of course, one thing is sure: I want to come on the top.
So, and we're learning about everybody's skill set. What will allow you to stand out? You just mentioned your tools. What will allow you to be a major player amongst the field?
I think I have all the tools. I'm fast. I'm big. I'm strong. I can take the punch. I have good chin. I was never on the floor in my whole career. So I have good technique. I'm smart and I'm beautiful, like you can see. So I think I have good tools to beat all the guys there.
Best of luck Saturday. You are pretty charismatic in a different way. So best of luck to you, man.
Thank you, man. All the best.
Thank you. Ames next, please.
Hi, Filip. I just have another question. Like I mentioned to you, you have a lot of admirers, but there's someone who particularly doesn't really admire you. That is the Croatian Alen Babic. I just want to ask you and Nisse, how likely is that fight down the line, and how will that fight go if you fought Alen Babic?
Look, I think Alen Babic is not so great boxer. I don't give him a chance to go to the top of the division. He's just too small. It's not his category. And he's very bad technically. So he maybe one day will be one of my opponents on the record. It's up to Nisse and to Team Sauerland and to my manager to decide. And Alen Babic, only what he has, it's my name in his mouth. So that's only, and his trash talk. And that's only what he, I don't give him great chance to go far.
I think that Alen Babic, from my point of view, he needs to go. He needs to beat someone like, let's say, Tom Little, then perhaps a Dave Allen, and then then we can see. But we've already asked about the fight, just because we fancied a quick tune-up, but that suddenly he went very quiet. So look, I believe. Personally, I believe that Tom Little will beat him if he had a good training camp. So I just don't see him on the same level as Filip Hrgovic, and he is using Filip's name to perhaps get himself in the press, which is fine. Listen, you need to promote yourself, and you need to link yourself with great fighters, and that's fine. Build a rivalry, and you never know, in 1 year's time, after he's beaten a couple of decent guys, we can do it. We can do it in an open air stadium in Croatia. But I speaking honestly and truthfully, I don't know Alen Babic. I have no immediate issue with him. However, I don't see it going past a round. That's all on that subject.
Thank you.
It's my man.
Hey Philip, John here again from Pro Boxing Fans. Just another question for you and one for Nisse. For you, what did you make of Oleksandr Usyk's performance against Usyk-Chisora? People saying that was the acid test at heavyweight. Do you think he's capable of continuing and winning a heavyweight world title? And for Nisse, where do you see sort of the path with Philip in, say, 1 year's time? Where do you want Philip to be in his career?
I even before the fight and before Usyk entered the heavyweights, my opinion was that it's not category for him. He's a great, skillful boxer, but he's just too small and too weak for heavyweights. And this fight with Usyk-Chisora just confirmed to me that my opinion. I think he was not brilliant, and you see that he's not too strong and don't have real power for the heavyweights. And I think he will, with someone who is little faster heavyweight, and there is a lot of faster heavyweights than Chisora, he will have a lot of problems.
Hello. So yeah, I mean, do you want my opinion on Usyk? Philip couldn't have said it any better. I believe he's a great boxer, but I think going up, you could see that his power and it wasn't enough. He's a great boxer, but he just simply doesn't hit hard enough. Regarding where I see Philip in 1 year's time, of course, a good win on Saturday. And then I would like to see some kind of eliminator in February time. Perhaps the IBF eliminator against, let's say, one of the guys out of the top 5. I believe Michael Hunter's there. A few other names, Ruiz and Charles Martin. Against one of those guys would be perfect. And then, towards the end of next year, challenging for a world title. The IBF is very strict with mandatories, and obviously we were quite high up in the WBC, but there's sometimes you have to pick a path. And with the WBC, obviously you have Dillian White, you have Povetkin, who obviously knocked out Dillian White. Now it's delayed again, and that's the mandatory. So it'll be a bit of a waiting game. So for us, we're going as quickly as possible, full steam ahead for a world title shot. Within a year, I don't know. Who knows in boxing? It could be in 3 months' time. It could be in a year. It could be in a year and a half. But that's our aim. If the Anthony Joshua fight comes along straight away, we'd take that. We saw Dillian White had obviously Povetkin pull out. We would have loved the Dillian White fight. Obviously, 3 weeks' notice may be a little too short for us. But there's a whole lot of options at heavyweight, and I've said it once, say it again. Since the Klitschkos have left the heavyweight division, the whole heavyweight division has opened up, and it's very exciting again. There's so many fights out there. You've obviously got the top two, which I believe are Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and then you have the leading pack, and I think Filip is the leader of that pack coming up. And like Filip says, he gets angry with me quite often because I don't get him tough enough opponents. But it's hard. It's very hard, to find anyone who will fight Filip. It's a tough task. But that's why we know we have to go the mandatory route and make one of these guys fight Filip. And we believe we can do that within a year.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Filip. Donald Corby here. I wanted to ask about, and I'm sorry if this question has already been asked. I had this muted for just a minute. What did you make of Deontay Wilder's comments? I know that you've sparred him before. What have you made of how he has sort of acted this last week regarding the Tyson Fury fight?
Man, I'm not so on the social media. I don't know what really was happening, so don't know what to tell you exactly. I don't know what he said exactly.
He claimed that Tyson Fury was tampering with the gloves. He claimed that his water was spiked by his trainer. A lot of kind of wild claims about how that fight went.
I think that's impossible with the gloves because so strict checks before the fight, especially in such a big event. So I think it's not true, and I think sometimes, especially when you make a lot of money and make a lot of fame, it's sometimes hard to admit yourself your mistakes, and then you try to find mistakes in some other things, And I think he need to go deep down in his soul and his heart and find the answers there, not in the gloves.
Nisse, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, actually, if you have a couple of seconds.
If I'm honest, I think it sounds like he's going through, and I mean this in the most positive regard possible. It sounds like he's going through some kind of breakdown, mental breakdown, because 1 minute's the gloves, 1 minute's his trainer who basically built him from a kid up to him spiking his own drinks. It sounds like possibly he needs some kind of therapy or to get through this. And I don't mean this in a jokey way. I mean this in a serious way because I think Wilder is a good fighter, and I think he seems like a very, very nice guy. I've heard from a lot of different people that he's a top guy, and I think maybe he needs to just get to grips with it, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but it sounds like all these excuses coming in, like 4 or 5 different excuses. I think it started with what he came into the ring in, which quite simply, in the biggest fight of your life, to walk in like a Disney character, it's crazy. I think anyway, but yeah, look, I hope he works himself out. He needs to talk through his problems, and he needs to maybe just man up, put his hands up and say he was the person who lost the fight. You know, that takes a real man to do that. Admit he did something wrong. He got beaten on the night. That does not mean that he can't win a third fight. You know, we saw the first fight, he almost knocked Tyson out. And we all have off nights, we all have off days. You know, in soccer, you get substituted, in boxing, you get knocked out. That's the sad, cruel nature of the game. But I believe he'll be back. He just needs to take some time out, get off of social media, not give any interviews, and you know, like Filip says, search his soul.
Thank you, buddy.
But you know, I wish him the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nisse. And finally, Carlos, I believe you've got a question for maybe both guys.
Yeah, a quick question for Nisse. I mean, I know you kind of detailed a little bit what your plan is to maybe try to get Filip into that world title conversation. And obviously things are so fluid right now in boxing, especially with the pandemic. How much has kind of those plans to try to get Filip a world title shot or get him into a title eliminator kind of change as far as timelines and concerns and time frames, you know, compared to right before the pandemic to right now? Does it feel like you guys are still more or less on track to get to maybe a world title eliminator next year?
I believe we're about 6 months out, 6 months delay of everything. I think like everyone else, hoping that there's not going to be any more lockdowns and praying to God that they find some kind of a vaccine for this awful illness. But yeah, of course it's knocked our plans a little bit, but has it knocked our plans more than other people? No, I don't think so. Filip is in the ring in September, he's in the ring now. We'll try and get him out before Christmas. And I think actually that in the end, that's a decent year, bearing in mind there's been a global pandemic. So, you know, we just got to keep working, keep his head down. And you know, like I said, Rydell Booker is still fresh for a 42-year-old. I think it's definitely his hardest challenge. And you know, like, make a statement on Saturday. You know, Pulev, I think he nicked a couple of rounds out off Pulev. So Filip needs to go out there and knock him out in 5 rounds. That would be making a statement to the governing bodies, to you guys, and to the fans, to say that, you know, Filip is top heavyweight.
Thanks, Nisse, and best of luck, Filip, on your next fight.
Thank you, man.